Again, throughout the county, the majority of the beneficiaries are Asian, the 20% minority Asian children. See, the Asians are 19.6% of Fairfax County. That is including Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Filipinos, Indians, everything combined. We are only 96.6%, but is the highest minority group in Fairfax County. Much larger than African Americans and Hispanics, taking the entire county. But when it comes to the advanced academic programs, there is a significantly higher percentage of Asians in the advanced academic programs. And we are not really represented in the school board and in their discussions from what I can see, because they're trying to dilute and they're trying to take more money out of these advanced academic programs, because there is not really, people are talking aggressively to keep it at the current levels. They played around with busing, and I mean, there are definitely there are people who believes that these advanced academic programs are necessary to keep smart children, advanced academic capable children challenged. Because when I have my friends who talk about education system here, I have actually tried sending my son to India, thinking that the education system here is not good enough when he was in the second grade, 1 year. So I have, when we discuss about American education system or Fairfax County system with me, my friends, the Indian friends, this is what I tell them: if you can get them into the AAC program, the advanced academic program, then you're good. Then you don't worry. The system will keep them challenged. If that doesn't happen, then obviously you all can, as parents who are taking serious interest in children's education, you can tell they're not going to be challenged. And if children are not challenged, that's when they get into trouble. That's when they have free time, and that's when they, getting into issues that we don't want them to be, especially when they are children, right? So my focus, if I get on the school board or even otherwise, is to keep the spending levels at the current levels and not to cut on the funding for advanced education programs in Fairfax County. There are some comments that we hear in general about the Asian American parents who are trying to help their children by extra push from outside, sending them to different coaching programs and stuff like that. And I don't quite believe that is actually the right thing to do, because the children has to be really advanced, capable level to get into the programs. But this is the diluting the testing mechanism or changing the emphasis from science, technology or math to more writing is not the way to go about it. You can change the system, you can make the system more smarter so that the parents cannot really manipulate the system by additional training. I'm completely okay with that. But that is not by diluting the science technology focus of the program at Thomas Jefferson. One other idea that I have is from, again, noticing from my community, the Asian American communities, the way they are taking the Fairfax County advanced academic programs. This is an observation that I made. Even if the kids are not interested in science or technology, they are exceptionally smart children. They may be good for English or humanities or other subjects, but they are not quite science technology children. But still, this is the only challenging program we have in Fairfax County for really advanced type kids. Only science and technology program. So I am proposing to have another school like TJ in Fairfax County that is focused more towards humanities, history, other than English, other than science and technology, so that the children who are smart doesn't have to be stuck with TJ. Everybody pushed their kids to TJ. Earlier, TJ kids used to be Westinghouse scholars and all the Nobel Prize winners and all that, because only science and technology students were going there. But that's not the case anymore. They get out and they go become lawyers, they become doctors, they go to a lot of other things. And they all go to TJ because TJ is the only school that has this advanced curriculum, advanced program. Whereas Montgomery has better options. I have some parents from Montgomery school here. They have multiple options. Not just science and technology, other areas are also encouraged. So that is one proposal I have, and I wanted to hear your opinion about this, and I'm really floating this idea now. Then definitely people are talking about more expenses, starting a good school. Yes, we have to spend when the expenses are justified for academic excellence. That's one of the top priorities on my program. Not equity, not social re-engineering, not unnecessary sex education when they are 7 or 8 years old. That's not the purpose of the school. The primary reason why schools exist is to teach them math, science, English, history, and then make them ready for a good life for the future.
U.S. history.
And they can, U.S. history, of course, U.S. history.
Well,
And that's another major focus I have.
World history.
And that's another focus I have.
US.
I have mentioned this in multiple meetings and it got very good reception. When you talk about children here, I have 2 boys who went to the Fairfax County school system, did exceedingly well in terms of GPAs and test results, whatever, went to UVA. I consider them much smarter than I am when I sit, and do math or programming or whatever. But when it comes to US history, I am a person who was brought up in India. I came here when I was 25 and half years old to the US. And when things come up in TV, I ask them, do you know this? Do you know that?
Yeah,
no clue.
No clue.
And these are children who passed advanced in history, SOA history. So, the reason is because the US history education in the schools here is not enough, in my opinion. And I am a believer in the American idealism, American exceptionalism. I believe American idealism and exceptionalism is the other side of the socialism. We have to survive. It's not something that we can compare. So if that is the case, the history of this country, and I asked them some basic questions like, what is the difference between a constitutional republic and a democracy? No clue. What is the difference? Why America is not just a democracy, it's a constitutional republic? No idea. So these things are important, and that is why I really want another school like TJ who will encourage children from these kind of interest areas to have some way of learning more.
But then
That's my phone. Display. One additional thing I have that is related to the advanced program. The equity model, to have same percentage of different races and things like that in different schools, it is going to play real havoc in the near future. The Fairfax one model that they have, that they're proposing now in the school board, not proposed, it's actually announced, they're working on it. It's going to be providing buses to children. If they want to go from Mount Vernon district to Langley, they have to transport. The idea is to bring equity in all the schools. See, if Fairfax County has 14% Hispanic students, there has to be 14% Hispanic students in all the schools. How we make it happen? And if it's only 20% Asian, why all the Asians are in Langley and McLean and in TJ? That's not right. They have to be distributed. The real estate prices are going to crash. The whole model of the success that we are building here, it's in trouble. This is in their program. It's coming. Fairfax 1. That's the name of it. And the same idea is working in teachers also, teacher salaries. I know that when my children went to these GT programs, those teachers were selected from, using rigorous selection process. They were much better teachers, in terms of qualifications and special education, special training they had compared to regular teachers. But because of the salary equivalency requirements that they have, now they have to pay the same type of salary to a, a sports teacher and a TJ teacher. Yes, there is some difference, but that is diminishing as we speak on a day. They want to have same salaries. Just the experience matters, the number of years. And I have seen that in countries like India, where only age matters for salary. It doesn't work that way. You need to encourage teachers to be smart teachers by giving them better pay than teachers that doesn't require that level of sophistication or training. And that is another thing that is going to really go really bad against the advanced academic programs. Not just TJ, throughout. So these are the issues that I think when it comes to the advanced academic programs that we have to be concerned about. And I would encourage, if somebody has some thoughts or maybe more additional thoughts that you want me to represent in discussions and meetings, I would love to hear.
So I have a question. So if the students at TJ, for instance, they're so well prepared and so good in the science and the math subjects, and that they're weaker in the liberal arts subjects, shouldn't we also help to push for the quality of teaching there? at TJ, and those liberal arts subjects too, so they don't miss out?
Let's not refer to that as liberal art
Okay.
classes, because we may have some different understanding about those classes.
The U.S. history.
Well,
and
you know,
literature.
the
Humanities.
you know, those classes, and I will do this. I will try to clarify what Vincent was saying about that track. What I'm envisioning is there are two tracks. One is STEM, and the other one I will call it ALH. Yes, comprised of arts, literature, and humanities. Okay, so whatever the courses that are not related to STEM, okay, we can have advanced courses in the ALH track. Okay, and we will encourage the kids, the students, to pursue the education, you know, within that track if they are not really interested in STEM. So yes, at TJ you can have the advanced courses. For example, they do have AAP. They have AP English. They have AP History, AP Government. They have a number of AP classes, but it's a choice of the students to take. So they can take a regular class or an AP class. That's up to them. But they are available at TJ. However, we're not talking about the AP class. We're talking about, you know, more advanced instructions. Okay, in the ALH track, you know, in a separate magnet school, high school. What I researched in Virginia is that there's only one such school, but it's not a full 4-year high school. It's only 2 years, and it's in Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond.
And they start from 11th grade to 12th grade. So it's not a full 4-year ALH magnet high school. We can lead Virginia in that area, and we can lead the country in that area by having 2 magnet schools with 2 different tracks. So I think that's very, very doable, because the money, if we cut off all the wasteful spending, we have plenty of money to start another magnet school.
Yeah, make the
ALH.
make 2 years.
Okay,
Better.
and with this, we're going to take the pressure off TJ. All right, a lot of people, 3,000 applicants every year, they want to get into TJ, but I have to tell you, they want to come to TJ with the wrong idea.
Yeah.
Just like what Vincent said, they want to have a name so they can go to good college.
Yeah.
But are they equipped to take on the challenge of STEM curriculum at TJ? Therefore, we only see a small percentage of them getting in. So, but you know, they do want to have a name. They do want to have, you know, a good high school education in the ALH. We will give it to them.
Yeah.
They will have that, and they will be able to go to college, you know, knowing that, you know, they have good training. And college will look at their application and say, hey, you know, they have been trained in an ALH program, a magnet program in Virginia. So you know, that's a good alternative for those who cannot get into TJ, but those who want to get into TJ for a wrong idea.
Right. Great.
Quick. Actually, many things is your idea pretty good. Make sure you can sell it. People can buy the idea, right? So basically, make sure your campaign is successful. But one second thing, but the second school, government school is better. I mean, I agree with 2 years, because the school kids need a foundation on the science for first 2 years. Another thing you mentioned for the Fairfax County School Board want to do the average minority kids transfer to different schools. Just, I mean, that's hard to against. You know, because parents going to say, well, I want my kids to go by the school. So how do you sell this kind of? How do you?
No, so the private schools, you know, you understand, 53% of the real estate tax we pay, it's go to the school system, right? Say, if you go live in a bad neighborhood, you are expecting that the public schools in those areas are not good for your children, but at the same time, you don't pay this level of taxes. The taxes we pay, you know, Arthur showed earlier, gone up 170%, whereas salaries increased only 41%. They from 2000 to 2018. So these taxes are going in whether you send your child or not. And when I started talking to people, asking for campaign contributions and calling people, a lot of American people, not just immigrants. Immigrants have no clue how the school system is being run. They said it's all government. We cannot. I said no. If you elect me, I can change things. People don't know what school board has that kind of role. People don't know. I'm talking about immigrant families.
But you won't.
But when American parents are telling me, our children are out of school, we don't really care. Why do we have to be bothered? I said 53% of your real estate taxes still go to the FCPS, Fairfax County Public Schools. If you're paying $20,000 real estate tax a year, 10,000 is going right away going to FCPS. So if you're taking your child out of the public school, putting them into private school, then you're paying the taxes and then you're paying the fees. So we are paying the taxes. So that is why, we are paying it for the public school system. We cannot just ignore it. That's my point. I believe in public schools because that's what gives this area the clout it has.
How do you guys vote?
Because there is a general thinking that if you're like a Republican endorsed candidate, you don't care about public schools. I'm totally opposed to that. Public school. I believe in public schools because you cannot be. We all came here with not much in our hands. Everything we did is from this country, right? At the same time, we were able to manage our kids in better situations because there is a good public school system. Otherwise, we will be excusing more to send them to private schools, which is not affordable.
How do you guys vote? By deliver simple message. Just like people can understand, really easy to understand, also benefit. That's very important when you do the voting in the campaign.
Yeah, we can, if you have some thoughts on how to message this properly, I'm all ears.
It's hard.
So, Vincent mentioned about school redistricting, right? So I went to one of the school board meetings, and one of the school board members was using the terms to have and have-nots in schools. And those terms are more along the line of socialism, right? They're talking about that they're trying to rationalize their plan to redraw the boundaries to bus the students from the more underserved communities.
They're not attacking the underlying problems. Dysfunctional families.
Right.
They're attacking it from the money point. Okay, that's all we have. I have $3 billion with me. I will throw some money here.
Yeah, probably had to propose some like extreme idea. Like for example, I was thinking, for example, the teacher salary, right? I think, how about just say, good teacher, you had to qualify the teacher. If it's a good teacher, you pay them more. Right? Let them stay there in the poverty district school. Let them to work real hard. I mean, the problem is K-12. Right? The basic education is losing to the everywhere.
Yeah, we already heard from the earlier statistics. The teachers are not really poorly paid. They're paid pretty much the best of the national standard.
Yeah, but you don't do the average teacher. Average teacher gets paid. And you say, okay, how about the science teacher, math teacher? If you're qualified, you teach well, I pay you more. How about that? You just get some idea, like very different.
The unions.
That's a union issue.
The union issue, but we can talk about it. You have to make the issue that people can pay attention.
Yeah, that is again, that is the issue. The school board's messaging is not meritocracy. They have to go by the teacher associations or whatever. So they consider all the teachers based on number of years of experience.
You work with union. Yeah,
it's like no incentive.
No, they will not. The unions will not.
All right, we need to move on. We need to move on. So there's one more topic, subtopic under the AAP Magna School issue.
So we're talking about funding. We're talking about trying to protect the AAP program. They kept looking at cutting the program down, the budget down. There's one area that you have to be aware. So there's so the advanced academic program is gifted education. There's also special education, right, for